Have you ever wondered, does penis size really matter? Across cultures, countless men have asked the same question. In fact, a study by King's College London revealed that 45.2% of men feel insecure about their size, and 1 in 4 have searched for ways to enlarge it, even when their measurements are completely normal. But according to modern medical science, size contributes to less than 5% of overall sexual satisfaction. The remaining 95% depends on blood circulation, nerve sensitivity, hormonal coordination, and emotional connection, the invisible systems working beneath the skin. Inside the male body, the penis is far more complex than it appears. It is composed of 2 corpora cavernosa and 1 corpus spongiosum, filled with millions of microvessels and surrounded by smooth muscle tissue. When the brain senses arousal, electrical signals from the spinal cord trigger the release of nitric oxide, relaxing the smooth muscles and allowing blood to rush in. Within just 0.25 seconds, the pressure inside the erectile chambers rises up to 7 or 8 times above normal, creating the hydraulic tension that causes erection. At this moment, oxygen-rich blood saturates the tissue, feeding energy into every cell. This reaction is instant, automatic, and completely dependent on vascular and neural health, not size. Even a few micrometers of difference in blood vessel flexibility or nerve conduction speed can change performance dramatically. But what exactly is normal? In 2015, the British Journal of Urology International analyzed data from 15,521 men across 17 countries. The results showed that the average erect penis measures 13.12 centimeters in length and 11.66 centimeters in circumference. Statistically, 95% of men fall between 10 and 16 centimeters, perfectly within the biological range of normal. Only 2.5% measure above 16 centimeters, and medical evidence shows that greater length does not lead to greater pleasure for either partner. A 2017 study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine confirmed that factors such as firmness, endurance, and emotional synchrony have far stronger correlations with satisfaction than physical size. In other words, biology values function and coordination, not competition. To understand why, we need to look at female anatomy. The outer third of the vagina contains more than 8,000 sensory nerve endings, twice as many as the glans penis. The so-called G-spot lies only 3 to 5 centimeters inside the vaginal canal. This means that, beyond a certain point, depth offers no additional stimulation. Instead, rhythm, angle, and emotional connection are what activate the brain's reward system. According to research from the Kinsey Institute, 74% of women consider emotional intimacy and synchronized rhythm far more important than size. In fact, penetration deeper than 10-12 centimeters can sometimes cause discomfort rather than pleasure. What truly creates arousal is chemistry, the release of dopamine and oxytocin, the same hormones that emerge from trust and affection, not from length. And so the mind becomes the most powerful sexual organ. Within the male brain, the ventral striatum acts as the command center for confidence and desire. When a man feels secure, dopamine rises, improving focus, control, and endurance. But when he feels anxious or stressed, cortisol floods the bloodstream, tightening arteries and slowing blood flow to the penis. This explains why stress and self-doubt can physically reduce performance in seconds. The connection between the heart, brain, and genitals forms a closed biological circuit. A steady heartbeat sends stronger neural impulses, which in turn stabilize testosterone. Research from Harvard Medical School found that men with positive mental states and adequate sleep maintain 25–30% higher testosterone levels than those suffering chronic stress or insomnia. This delicate balance also determines fertility. A healthy testis produces over 100 million sperm each day, though only 5 to 10% are viable for fertilization. Each sperm travels at around 3 millimeters per second, the equivalent of running a 40-kilometer marathon relative to its size. It then journeys through the vas deferens, a tube roughly 30-35 centimeters long, mixing with prostatic fluid that forms about 30% of semen volume. What matters for fertility is not the length of the organ, but the health of this microscopic process. The quality of sperm, its shape, and its motility. Ideal sperm density ranges between 15 and 259 million per milliliter, a value that depends far more on nutrition, sleep, and hormone balance than on any external measurement.
Specifically,
improving sexual performance,
of the male pelvic floor
begins
muscles.
with understanding the body's biology. To strengthen natural function, start with the pelvic floor muscles, the foundation of erectile control. Daily Kegel exercises for just 10 minutes can increase muscle power by 20 to 25% after 3 weeks. A healthy lifestyle is equally crucial. 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly reduces cortisol by up to 30% and enhances testosterone production. A balanced diet rich in zinc, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids supports sperm development and vascular elasticity. Meanwhile, smoking and excessive alcohol constrict arteries, damage nerves, and age the circulatory system, the true enemies of male vitality. Finally, maintain emotional well-being, because endogenous dopamine, the pleasure chemical your own brain produces, is nature's most powerful aphrodisiac. In the end, size is only a number. It cannot define masculinity, fertility, or the capacity for pleasure. True strength lies in understanding your body, maintaining hormonal harmony, and cultivating confidence. When the heart and brain synchronize, every organ works in perfect rhythm. This is the essence of male health. Science has proven that confidence and hormone balance influence performance 10 times more than size ever could. So love your body, take care of it, trust it. Because penis size does not define a man's health, balance, and self-assurance do.
Inside the black box of 86 billion neurons, every decision unfolds in milliseconds. Live system, latency 12 milliseconds. Perfusion 100%, the foundation of alertness. A 3D cut opens a living skull, exposing an active neural architecture at 1 second. The brain's shift begins. The cortex flexes with the pulse 60 to 90 beats per minute. The landscape of gyri sulci maps function, where thought, emotion, and movement are precisely zoned. White matter is a fiber expressway. Signals run along interregional tracks. Good synchrony, low network latency, high cognitive efficiency. EEG beta approximately 18 Hz indicates wakefulness and focus. The live system state confirms stable bioelectric activity with low noise. 2 core metrics, perfusion and latency. When perfusion falls or latency rises, cognitive performance drops, visible in slowness and errors. The executive triangle, PFC control, hippocampus memory, amygdala emotion. Balance among the 3 keeps willpower above impulses. We dive into a cortical sulcus, the micro gateway where a single synaptic jump can redirect an entire train of thought. Cerebral capillaries carry oxygen and glucose, the twin fuels of life. The brain is only approximately 2% of body mass, yet consumes approximately 20% O2 at rest, an energy-hungry machine. Sensory data converge at the thalamus, a transit hub before distribution to specialized cortical areas. Vision, audition, proprioception. Excitation/inhibition, approximately 1:1, preserves high SNR. When noise is low, the signal of thought is crisp, with fewer voices in your head. At approximately 20 nanometer synaptic cleft,
Motor command.
vesicles release transmitters. Glutamate accelerates. GABA breaks. This duet protects the brain from overload. Saltatory conduction across nodes of Ranvier yields speeds of tens to hundreds of meters per second, while reflexes can be nearly instantaneous. From motor cortex, signals descend the corticospinal tract, turning intention into action, from a hand squeeze to a sprint. PFC, air traffic control for the mind, permits, delays, or aborts decisions. When PFC falters, executive errors soar. The hypothalamus keeps homeostasis, temperature, hunger, sleep, hormonal axes. Stability here shapes both physical and mental health. The BIBB, blood-brain barrier, forms a microscopic fortress. Tight junction welds lock down permeability, preserving a pristine neural milieu. Astrocytes embrace capillaries and synapses, regulating ions and fueling cells, the silent nurses of the neural network. Synapses stand by. Reserve vesicles dock, calcium channels open. Once the threshold is hit, transmission fires. Pumps and transporters clean residue, reclaiming transmitters. Fast cleanup makes the next signal sharper. Ion channels open, and action potential sweeps the axon. On-off sequences click with nanoscopic precision. Oligodendrocytes wrap myelin, the brain's dielectric. Less leakage, higher speed, lower energy cost for neurons. Microglia patrol. Scan, identify, clear low-grade threats. They quench small flames of inflammation before wildfires start. The myelin integrity gauge sits in the green. Intact insulation underpins durable learning and processing speed. 1 a.m. plus a blue screen. Every extra minute of scrolling is another minute of sleep debt. Prime thief of daytime alertness. Blue light suppresses melatonin, shifting the body clock. Recommendation: power down screens 60 to 90 minutes before bed to enter night mode. Glymphatic trash pickup slows sleep loss. Low flow. Neural waste lingers longer than expected. Biologic debris clumps. Short sleep isn't just tiring. It makes the brain
Mood
dirty
stability.
at the micro level. Reaction time lengthens by 100 to 200 milliseconds. Enough to slow actions and compromise driving or machinery safety. SNR sinks. The brain whispers in a noisy room. The same mental task now costs more energy. Irritability rises. When the sleep-stress axis snaps, emotional swings widen and snap decisions follow. Sleep debt accumulates. Plus 1 hour, plus 2 hours. After 5 to 7 days, cognition falls comparable to a full night of deprivation. Chronic stress pushes cortisol up. The needle shifts green to red. The body prioritizes survival, sacrificing strategic thinking. Amygdala drowns out the hippocampus. Emotions shout, memory retreats. Learning slows and recall fades. PFC connections thin, then break. Self-control wanes, impulses win. Executive mistakes multiply. Low HRV flags a taut autonomic system. Restoring rhythm with slow breathing and moderate movement is a recommended measure. A rain of notifications fragments attention. Multitasking doesn't double time. It doubles errors and dilutes decisions. Executive error charts spike. Missends, missed appointments, wrong priorities, united by attentional overload. Network desynchrony. Neurons blink out of phase.
Spike.
Fragmented thinking. Workflow loses cadence. Productivity drops. Neuroinflammatory signatures edge upward. The smoldering fuse of persistent fatigue and waning drive. Post-meal glucose spikes.
Overshoot.
Greater amplitude and SD. Energy seems plentiful, but actually flickers, degrading focus. Insulin surges, then dips. The glycemic pendulum triggers hunger, even with reserves. False appetite. Inflamed cerebrovascular endothelium is like a rough road. Turbulent flow, choppy fuel delivery, sluggish thinking. Insulin sensitivity falls as glut channels open less. Simple math. Same input, lower output. Poor brain efficiency. Neuronal mitochondria tire.
Lipid.
Output drops like a battery at 30%. Same workload, higher energy burn. Lipid specks roll by. A footprint of messy metabolism. Left unchecked, they harden into stubborn habits. Prolonged sitting lowers cerebral blood flow by a few percent. Enough to dent afternoon alertness and decision quality. The sitting counter climbs 7 to 9 to 10 hours per day. Warning threshold reached. Insert active brakes. Total load equals F of sleep, stress, glucose. Cross the threshold and the needle slams red. Cognitive output plunges. Desync spreads. Clusters drift offbeat until the whole network speaks different languages. Thoughts become disjointed. Decisions slide toward instinct. Fast but light on evidence. Error probability rises, risks accumulate. The recall curve has holes. Wrong names, weak retrieval. Simple evidence goes temporarily missing. 3 arrows converge into overload. The spillover isn't one drop. It's the sum of many habits. The system throttles to protect itself. Energy save mode on, creativity dim, processing slows, short-term safety, long-term cost. Red flag, thunderclap headache, Treat as cerebrovascular emergency. Time is brain. Red flag, facial droop, arm weakness, slurred speech. Remember FAST and call
Face
emergency
weak.
services immediately. Red flag,
Arm
language
weak.
disturbance, stuttering, word salad, poor comprehension. Don't wait for it to clear. Red flag,
Hello,
first-time
Apple
seizure,
House.
requires medical evaluation to exclude serious causes. Red flag, transient vision loss like a curtain. Think TIA. Get to the hospital early to diagnose and prevent stroke. Red flag, sudden altered consciousness. Prioritize airway safety, call emergency, follow clinical guidance. Set a 7 to 9 hour sleep window. Fixed bed-wake times daily. The foundation of neural recovery, memory, and mood. 90-minute pre-sleep routine. Screens off, warm light less than or equal to 3000 Kelvin. Light reading. The body clock resets cleanly. 150 minutes per week aerobic plus 2 strength sessions. Boosts cerebral blood flow and BDNF, improving mood and attention. 10-minute post-meal walk lowers glucose amplitude, shrinking the area under the curve of energy swings. Steadier brain fuel. Prioritize fatty fish, vegetables, legumes, nuts. Cut ultra-processed foods and added sugars. Mediterranean-style eating supports cognition. 4 to 7 to 8 breathing and 10 minutes per day, meditation. HRV up, cortisol down, autonomic tone recenters, sleep deepens. Deep work, 25 to 50 minutes, single task, notifications off. Gives the PFC space for higher order reasoning, reducing executive errors. Routine checkups, blood pressure, lipids, A1C, screen for sleep apnea when suspected. Partner with clinicians under current guidelines. 7-day brain reset, daily building blocks. Sleep, nutrition, movement, breath, deep work, social connection, metrics. Start step 1 today. A small deviation times 7 days yields a big difference. A clearer mind, steadier emotions, and the human body is a perfect biological machine. Every second, more than 37 trillion cells work in harmony. Inside the male body, the reproductive system is the birthplace of millions of potential lives. Sperm are continuously produced in the seminiferous tubules at an incredible rate of 1,500 new cells every second. The process of creation, spermatogenesis, takes about 64 days to form one mature sperm cell. When fully developed, each sperm measures only 0.05 millimeters, yet its tail engine can rotate up to 3,000 times per minute. In the moment of ejaculation, over 300 million sperm cells are released, beginning the most extreme biological race on Earth. Like an army of light, they surge forward through liquid currents, seeking the one destination capable of creating life. Upon entering the female body, the environment changes instantly. Temperature, pH, and pressure all shift dramatically. The cervix acts as the first gateway, where only about 1% of sperm are strong enough to pass through. The vaginal canal maintains an acidic pH between 3.8 and 4.5, equivalent to lemon juice, strong enough to destroy most weak sperm instantly. Within moments, over 90% of all sperm are eliminated. Only a few thousand survivors continue their journey. During ovulation, cervical mucus becomes thinner, forming a biological highway guiding sperm forward.